by asking, why did you decide to run for Kibra MP?
That's a tough one. Yeah, although throughout my lifetime, I've been a teacher for over 30 years. I was a teacher for over 30 years. I took care of children, people's children, especially the disadvantaged. What struck me a lot is when I started teaching at Kamkunji, most of the students there we had who did not know even how they will get the next food, and then we supported them. And then I developed an interest in talents development, so I had the opportunity to interact with people from very humble backgrounds. So from Kamkunji, I moved to Upper Hill, which is in Kibra Constituency, where I also interacted with quite a number of kids from a very humble background. And because of the talent development that I was doing, most of the kids were coming from Kibra constituency. We had a program for them. For sponsors who could help them, and during my tenure as a teacher, I had many of those kids who are talented move to international levels. In fact, I am always very proud that the national team captain for Harambee Stars for a long time have been my products. Even the current one is my product. When Oliech was the captain, it was my product. Mariga captain was also my product. Mugabe my product. Olunga my product. So talent development that I have done, not only in football but also in basketball, where I've had the national team captain also many years had been my product, even the netball and many other areas in sports. So this also inspired me a lot after having been a teacher, and also a principal for a long time. I was a principal in Langata High School, which basically was also in Langata constituency, a bigger Langata constituency, and interacted with the Kibra kids. So later on in my life, I said I had done a lot in schools, and now I needed another opportunity to go and serve, especially the kids from humble background, those who cannot afford fees, those who cannot afford food. We can look at way of helping them in education, and not only in education, but also look at how we can develop those talents, because now at the moment, talent is a big industry. It is an industry that can feed the whole country. One player, if I were to bring Ronaldo in this country, his wealth alone is worth Kenyan budget. So I believe that if we can have one or two talented pupils or students from Kibra constituency, it can also change the lives of some of those kids who are not able to fend for themselves. This is one of the inspirations that really drove me to see whether I can be a member of parliament, I get better opportunities so that we can support the society. Yes. And
now, Mambo background, what did you find when now you actually got the office? And what are some of the things that really surprised you or shocked you about Kibra?
Kwa ground mambo ni tofauti. I used to deal with maybe 1,000 students, community, parents, teachers, all the stakeholders. But when you go to the ground, these are many people on the ground. All the people will require your attention. I thought the CDF, National NGCDF, could give a big support to the society. But I realized that it is almost a drop in the ocean if we were to uplift the standards of living in our constituencies. And this gave me another thought that really, don't we need to look at other ways of really helping these people, especially public-private partnership. So I think in my vision on the ground that each of us should be able to look for partners to try and help the society, because as a member of parliament, the NGCDF alone is not possible to help and sustain the programs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when now you interacted more with the most popular school in Kibra, that is Olympic Primary. What are some of the challenges that you have seen in that school, especially being a teacher?
It's so interesting that initially, when I had not even thought of becoming an MP, when I was in Langata High School, my member of parliament was Honorable Raila. And we consulted, and I said, why couldn't he do other schools in Kibra? And that is when he came up with the idea of doing Olympic High School. And I was also privileged at that time. I was the chairman of the heads of Langata. So when the posting of the first head of Olympic was done, I had the privilege of taking that principle to Olympic to start Olympic Secondary. And when we went there for the first time, there was no school. There was only a signboard called Proposed Olympic Secondary School. And he was coming from a big school, Jamhuri High School. When he saw that it was just a proposed school, he told me, now, when I cannot be here. It took me time to persuade him to come to Olympic Secondary School. It's called Mr. Kum. And we consulted with Muse, and Muse said he would build that school to a level that can help the surrounding and will also help the kids without education, those who can move from their homes to the school, those in the slum from Katwekera. And he made it a big school. He did a school in the middle of a slum, and a very beautiful school. If you go there, you'll find that it's a beautiful school. But that was then. That was 2007. Things have changed. That time it was big, but now they don't have facilities. The kids are now many. They have no proper ground to play. They don't have enough teachers. They don't have a desk. The classrooms are few. So now we have a lot of problems within that school. But we are saying that one day at a time, I think we'll ensure that the school moves on well.
At Olympic Primary, what is the population?
You know, I think it is the biggest primary school in this country. I have been there, and when I look at those kids, in fact, they don't come out at the same time because they will flood, in course, they will flood that compound. The number is 5,583 students. In fact, yes, the day before yesterday, the CS for Education, Machogu, was there. And he called me when he was there, but I had already come for a committee meeting. I could not join. He was amazed. He could not believe that such a school can have such number of students. And in fact, he told me that we need to meet by next week and see how we can come together with the Ministry of Education and see how we can help that school. Because one, apart from the population, the grounds there for the kids, when you look at their playground, it is all a dust. Why? Because the pressure that they put on that ground, that number is too big for that ground. So when they put pressure, we cannot even have grass growing on that pitch. So it is a big issue. They don't have the pitches. They lack enough study room, enough classes. They share desks together as they sit. Some sit on the floor. When I became an MP, the first thing I did in the constituency is to renovate the JSS of Olympic Primary School. And when you go there now, at least what they have now is not comparable to what they had before. We did the tilings for the square, we did all those JSS classes and other classes, and now they are in habitable classes. And I think we need to partner with many others, with the Ministry of Education. I will also ensure that we did more of those renovations as time goes by, because Olympic as a school is still one of the best performing schools in this country, primary public schools. Unlike other schools which are in slum, Olympic is in slum area, but still those kids, irrespective of what they have in their lives, some do not even have where to sleep. Some have a timetable for sleeping. You start sleeping at 7, then by 11 you are woken up so others can come and sleep. They also sleep until 2, then others are woken up because it is a single room and you are 10 kids. So even with all of that, they still manage to go to school and do very well. So those kids really need a lot of support. So I think that is where we also put our minds and see whether we can do more to that school than we are doing. Yes.
What will the multi-purpose pitch that we are looking to construct, how will that change the life of the children in Kibra and also just Kibra as a whole?
You know, sometimes God works in a different way. It was a miracle that we were able to partner together so that the God that is running through you now can help these kids. Normally, talent is in slums, and the best sportsmen always come from slums. I think it's because of the hardship that they undergo. If you look at the lifestyle of Kipchoge, how he used to be during his primary school, how many kilometers he used to cover, I think this was training him to be a star in the future. All stars must have come mostly. When you look at maybe all Ronaldo never went to school, but from the slum did well. So these pitches will allow these kids to get where to spend time. That is the first thing. They don't even have anywhere to spend time. 2, it will help them to develop their skills. 3, it will remove them. You know, those kids in the slum, sometimes some of them get into bad habits in quotes because of the kind of life they live. So it will remove them from those bad habits now to be responsible, good citizens, because they can spend their energy playing, training, and doing co-curricular activities. This is a big venture. It is going to help those kids to acquire skills, not only knowledge in class, but skills and attitudes outside the classroom, so that they can be better people outside. These skills, when well harnessed and nurtured, maybe 1 or 2 of them would be stars in the future. Not necessarily just being stars, but they also emotionally, they will go back and help the society from where they are coming from. So that pitch is God-given. It will go a long way to develop most of these kids in terms of character development, in terms of talent development, and also in terms of creating opportunity for many of them who, I can tell you for sure, we can bet 1,000 times that 90% have never seen a turf, football turf. They will just go and touch it if it happens, because that will be the first time they will be seeing. And that alone is a motivation. It will motivate them. It will give them the impetus to do more so that they can gain the skill required for them to be better players in the future. Yes.
And for people who, sometimes we take life for granted, what does that pitch mean, even when it comes to crime rates? What is the connection between a place like that and crime rates?
I think earlier, that is, I didn't want to, you know, when you are the MP, you do not want to say that you have high crime rate. Yeah. I was saying the bad habits. So when I talk about the bad habits, that is the something like a crime. So you will realize that the crime rate within our community definitely, I'm sure, will reduce, because this pitch will remove them from those crime activities. They will use their energy to do something positive. And when you have trained, when you have used your energy, you have no other energy to go and involve yourself in crime activities. So I am almost sure that the crime rate in the village will reduce. So this is one of the ways also of reducing crime in our society, amidst our people. Yes.
And how will it impact Kibra when they see that? Because the funding of the money is actually, we are funding from the nation, just people, different people being touched and giving money. How will this impact Kibra when they see that a whole country and just people coming together to raise and put up a pitch, an international pitch for the children in the community of Kibra?
I think this is a great encouragement for these kids. they will believe that it does not matter where you come or where you grow. What matters is the heart, the emotion, and how you focus. So it will show that even in this settlement, this in quotes, we don't call them slum, we call them informal settlement. So even from this informal settlement, there are good things which can come out of it. They will feel that they are not neglected. They will feel that the whole nation cares about informal settlements, and they will feel part and a parcel of this Kenya. And I think it will be one of the greatest motivating factor for informal settlement, not only in Kibra, but even other areas, because they will realize that as a Kenyan, it does not matter where you are from, where you come from, or how you are brought up. So I think this is going to be a big motivating factor, even for people from informal settlement.
To my last question on the project, I will be walking 488 kilometers. I want to find out if you will join me and somewhere in between. I need a commitment from my MP.
If we had 1,000 Kenyans like you, even our GDP will be so high. If we are the people committed, if we are people who are passionate about society, like you, I think Kenya will not be where it is. I will join you in Mombasa for the work because this is something that is going to benefit not only just my constituents, but it is a show to Kenyans that with the determination, with the hard work, you can always overcome all the stumbling blocks. So I will join you so that we can work together and show that when we are passionate about something, I am who I am because of talents. I am a sports person. And if I can give back to the sports fraternity, why not? So I think we sail in the same boat. The passion you have for this is the same passion I have for this, and I don't think it will go to waste. It will have to breed the kind of citizens that we need in this country.
First of all, sir, let me say thank you for the support that you have given RIG when it comes to building at the prisons. It will have a capacity of 300, actually 200 people can comfortably sit in the multi-purpose hall. Maybe if you would just make a comment about that project and what it means for Kibra at Jamhuri short-term stay.
I think that was the most brilliant idea that you came with, because many people forget about prisons, and the life in prison is normally very difficult. That kind of hall we don't have in my constituency. We don't have such kind of halls. And I even know the prison people will use it for many purposes. It will serve, it has kitchen, it has, I've seen it as a hall. We can have drama activities, we can have other events. I must appreciate the kind of work that you have done. I have seen how it has been meticulously done. Very nice property, very nicely done. And I really want to encourage you not to stop what you are doing, because at the prison you have touched the hearts of those who work there, and this will always motivate them. You know, prisoners, the wardens, they always deal with the people who have been kept off the society because either of the criminal activities or other unwanted behavior. And when they see such kind of being done, I think they will feel part of the society, and it is a kind of a corrective mechanism that you can use to endear people, because it's a facility that will be used by many others who reside within that facility. And for the Jamhuri people, this is a facility. We only hope that we will interact also with them. The outsiders can freely interact, and when they have functions, they can be allowed to join them, so that we have also interaction between the community and the people who stay there. Thank you.